I'm going to ask you now to do a presentation for the public and the board.
Certainly. So I'll try to share my screen for some visual. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Great. Let me move this. So before Mayor and Council, you have a report that looks something like this as a way of cover reading redevelopment plan for the public realm of the Bassett Highway redevelopment area. We took a different approach to this site with respects to this is not the first time this site has been up for discussion by way of area needed redevelopment. When we look at the opportunity, see here, you'll see before you a map. This is really consistent of what Resolution 299-2024 authorized study of. You'll see there's some gaps in the general area. For purposes of Harry Laurie, we have a tax exempt church. We have another church. We have the Mill Pond Towers facility there as well. The board authorized us to do a combination study on the corner of Warren and Blackwell. So generally speaking, there are some holes like Swiss cheese in this general area, but the for history, back in 2006, this Bassett Highway redevelopment area first appeared before Dover Community. It was amended 2 additional times in 2017 as well as 2021. I think it's safe to say really nothing has materialized back there of substance. So we've asked to restudy it, and we were authorized really for 30 lots before the board. But for purposes of what really is the Bassett Highway redevelopment area, is this large area, we've articulated in yellow. Generally from the public realm, when you're on the sidewalk, you talk about Bassett. This is the general area. And it really does encompass those holes that were initially presented on the prior map. This site really is 49 lots, and it's roughly 27 acres. So it's a fairly large area, and there's a lot going on back here. So as a planner, I think it's important to note that this site has distinct characteristics for blight. It has opportunities that really haven't really been addressed. So this public realm vision redevelopment plan really starts to call out these areas. And, we'll walk through the board and the community what we're looking at here, identifying the key areas and the various asset here. So when we look at the Bassett Highway redevelopment area from a 30,000-foot approach, a holistic view, we want to continue that river walkway that the sports complex has a very small segment in. There was a good piece from the prior plans that, we're bringing forward. We have that Rails to Trails program on the industrial rail line that cuts through town that is active. We're in phase 1 of a 2-phase grant opportunity with NJTPA. So we're at the design phase. Phase 2 would be the construction. With that being said, we have some unique characteristics as well. We have an opportunity for a historic mural on the large Bassett Highway retaining wall. We have identified a very core central point in the Bassett Highway corridor where there lacks a real massing and presence. In the orange, we call it the front-facing facades. And then we have these corners in blue. We're talking about accentuating these corners and really, embracing the corner and really the primary corner that is. And then obviously we have the combination property behind where there was the fire some years ago. We are working on that. That will be coming before the board shortly. And we have the Harry Laurie site, which we just discussed. We are basically walking away from that and engaging new developers and new visions for that area, and even possible combination as well that was authorized. So we have a holistic view of this Bassett Highway from the public realm, and we're calling out in yellow potential season plaza, like for a public plaza, and I'll walk the board through what that is and where we're seeing this in as far as Bassett Highway. When we talk about large-scale redevelopment areas, we first need to identify and assess what is missing here. As I see on the screen, we have some houses. There's really a lack of street, sidewalk activity, population, economy scale. It's very barren back there for many reasons, but both in the presence of the community as well as just general activity. It's very sterile. So we want to recapture that waterfront with the final installment of the Dover Riverwalk. These are just visual examples of what a Riverwalk is, embracing the waterfront, passive, active recreation, an opportunity to greenify the river. Again, very cold, very stark. the Bassett Highway has very little greenery back there as it exists today. So when we talk about the Riverwalk, again, going into the connecting to the larger pedestrian mobility plan that we discussed, to the rails to trails. So we have an opportunity to really embrace the river as an asset. Not a whole lot of towns and communities across New Jersey can say they have an opportunity to have a river in their downtown and recapture that. So when we talk about circulation and movement of people, this plan proposes to enhance the public realm with the realignments of streets, which will allow for greater public safety enhancements as well as much needed green space within this approximate 27-acre area. This is what I'm referring to by relocating the street as an opportunity. Coming from Prospect, you hit that towpath square. There's a slight jog past the church into the back of the larger parking lot area. We want to realign that so that jog is not there. It gives us an opportunity by way of providing this existing street as a green space. There's infrastructure that's beneath this road, sewer lines, etc. We don't need to relocate that. We can keep that there and greenify the top and beautify the church and add that element back there that is sorely missed, including the Riverwalk. There's limited space in the downtown to find opportunities, so I think it's a great opportunity we need to capitalize on from a public realm and the vision plan for back here. We talk about a circulation plan, realigning that road. On the screen, you'll kind of see that towpath square is straight, and then you'll see off to the right of that some green area. That would be the illustrious vision of vacating that road for, green space. We have the Riverwalk. This plan does call out before Mayor and Council a robust tree planting of 30 to 40 on center. There's a lot of opportunities to bring street trees back here as well and to assist in that greenification. When we talk about that, again, we have the street trees. We are also calling out options for planter boxes and unified look with the tree grates as well. We have an opportunity for stamped concrete intersections and sidewalks, decorative and unified street lighting, which will provide for a more welcoming and safer environment. Again, there is a lack of population and community on the sidewalks back there. It also allows for safer crossings, rain garden opportunities, and various street furnitures. And the next slide, I want to emphasize these elements, working with Councilman Rodriguez, really do promote the Vision Zero for safe crossings, the public out in the public realm, walking, biking elements. So in this plan, if you look further, there'll be other mentions of safer crossing elements as well. But visually, we want to enhance this area and the streetscape. Unified top left photo, unified lighting plan and light fixtures. The top right, this is, real. It's in New Jersey. It's right down the street from where I live. You can see there's a bump out, stamped concrete. There's a rain garden. You have the street furniture, the trash cans. And these bump outs help pedestrians cross the street quicker and versus having a longer walk across, a street. Bottom left, we have rain gardens with benches and unified lighting, street trees as well. The bottom right is that stamped concrete intersection, which, really does say, there's pedestrians here. It drives a sense of place. It identifies the intersection. Typically, this is something we see in very newer concepts and development, but I think there's an opportunity here really to identify Bassett Highway and make it a distinctive place within the Dover community. So when we talk about the community, it's like identity, the heritage. We want to embrace that through the arts. We have an opportunity here to clean up this retaining wall. About a year ago, I had an opportunity from the county. They are welcoming the idea of, cleaning that wall up and putting something appropriate, historical in nature, heritage to Dover. This wall is, has an opportunity to enhance a sense of place and Dover at large. We have, on the top left here, some storefronts. There was the fire here recently at the Highline Restaurant. I always found it interesting as a planner that we'll have storefronts facing the wall that are really, there's lack of a population back there. And then on the larger opening area in Bassett, the missing facade, there's nothing there. So we got storefronts facing, retaining walls. And then in the primary middle of Bassett Highway, there's a big void there. When we talk about signage as well, this plan does call out for public realm improvements to avoid large, just continuous massing of buildings. It's unsightly, it's cold, it's dark. We have an opportunity to, enhance this while we hope to see potential redevelopment efforts made in this general area. But, the right photo is, an iconic building in Dover, the old Opera House, not to be confused with the theater. But, as we have that large, stamping and old insignia on the back of that building, certainly I think we can all comfortably agree this is distinct to Dover, it's unique, and I think it's well liked and perceived. We have an opportunity to replicate that in some fashion here, and to really, again, draw a sense of place and community identity. So breaking down the site and the neighborhood opportunities, again, we have that Swiss cheese kind of approach, if you will, because we have the Harry Laurie site and the combination site, the church, as well as the one across from Bassett and Mill Pond Towers. But generally speaking, we labeled these areas, we looked at them distinctly different, and called them out for opportunities. So in the plan, you'll see there's a list of these, what we call sub-districts. So this plan is really to draw a unified approach to development and what we want to see back here. It's very context sensitive. It calls out respecting the historic district, which is a big portion of this, for high quality facade materials and design elements. Also, all the plans in this redevelopment zone, whether in the district or not, are being requested to go before the Historic Commission for facade recommendations and discussions to ensure that redevelopment doesn't deface the identity of a community and take away from that, but rather pay homage and complement that community identity. Because there's a lot back here, and there's a lot of opportunities, and the last thing we want is to have that clash where this is no longer the Dover that we know and love. So it's very context sensitive to the Dover identity. So we have these sub-districts as they're listed out in their redevelopment plan, and I'll walk the community and the board through what these districts are, what we're trying to achieve, and what we're looking at here. So I'll start with that subzone D, missing massing and the sidewalk activation. On the screen, you'll see the Berman's Auction Gallery. You'll see the back of the Baker Theater. You'll see the other church over there on the corner of Topaz Square and Bassett. You'll see Barry's off, really just kind of recessed and nestled in the back. We have just a red barn with the white garage. There's really no activation of this streetscape, and I think that's kind of why it becomes cold and stark. One of the things I think we can all see here is there's zero street trees. The lights are of almost a highway nature. Again, it is called Bassett Highway, but these lights are certainly, I think, out of character for the Dover downtown. Key distinctive elements are missing that are expressly called out. We talk about gateways, accentuating prime corners. We have the Mill Pond Towers, fairly large building, I believe it's about 8 stories, and then adjacent right next to it, we have low profile, very antiquated structures. This is on the bottom of the Salvation Army. Up on the top right is the thrift store with the black awnings. We have an opportunity, we're calling these corners out as an opportunity to encourage larger massing, things that would blend in and accentuate the corners and really take advantage of this opportunity right here in Bassett Highway. So with that, we look at opportunities to create a sense of place throughout the Bassett Highway area. Another opportunity we see for one of the sub-districts here is that seasonal public plaza opportunity. So the top left, this is right before the post office in the Newberry building or Richards building. On the top left, there was a really beloved restaurant, very attractive and busy. The community loved it. It recently closed. When I saw that and I saw the building and I saw the opportunities here, I thought this might be an opportunity to really encourage neighborhood eatery type of uses in this area that would otherwise drive populations and consumers, patrons. At the same time, uses that would promote civic gatherings and the likes of that. Really trying to take advantage of putting community here. For the opportunity to see if it works and if it doesn't, if it's something community wanted for public seasonal plazas and an opportunity to shut down for events. We have an opportunity here, again, to fill that massing in this redevelopment plan and encourage filling that voided space against the Richards building, the back of the Richards building. When we look at seasonal plaza, a community gathering, this is what I'm referring to, an opportunity to bring tables out there, rope lighting, having events, markets, festivals, gatherings in general. Obviously, if this is something the council and community want to try and embrace, it doesn't have to be a permanent road closure. And what I mean by that is just down the street from where I live. The top photo was done in 2016 from Google Earth. There's some construction and enhancements you can kind of see in the top right. It is a road. And then the bottom photos, various points of the year, they shut the road down. They bring the tables out, the tents, the restaurants reclaim the street. This is very, very popular. And I say that this is an opportunity for Dover to, give it a shot. These do work. It doesn't have to be a permanent closure, but for purposes of opportunities back here, this is an opportunity I'd like for the public realm to try to explore and embrace, and the mayor and council to consider as a good planning opportunity. The public plaza, these are just more images of what it could essentially look like and kind of visualize. We also have other projects in the Bassett Highway area that, we discussed. The left photo is the Harry Laurie site. We're going to encourage, a very nice project here, support the Bassett Highway area. In order to kind of have and promote mixed use, we do need a population, that sidewalk reactivation. The top right is a pre-approved property for some townhouses, so there will be some population back here. And the bottom right is the parking lot behind Krauser's, and you can see it's fairly extensive and in size, and has great opportunity as well to bring a population and some housing choices and options to the community. And one of the things I think you can really appreciate there on that bottom photo of the parking lot is it's 100% asphalt. So there's a lot of opportunities to improve the community at large with a vision plan. So elements that exist currently that I think we should recognize. There are some good assets back here. The left photo is the church. You can see we have the historic lighting. We have the 2 street trees. There is some stamped concrete in front. Good architectural design. The top right, again, is at that end of Bassett along Sussex and right before the post office. A good, nice premier building, historically looking in nature, gooseneck lighting. We have the bump outs here. The bottom right, you'll see, again, bump outs. There is some good elements here within the Bassett Highway. Mill Pond Towers has a nice little signage right there. It's lit along Bassett by the post office. The top middle photo, you'll see there are street trees with decorative grates. There is a planter box out there. There is a couple tables and chairs with some patio umbrellas. Again, there are some good elements. Again, there's that church again on the top right. And the bottom right, again, you'll see some stamped concrete, some street trees. But I want you to look past the street trees, past the silver cars. You'll notice the stamped concrete is gone. There's no trees. So we want to recognize a uniform look back here. So this plan before mayor and council certainly identifies that area of vision, public, what this could look like. But most importantly, this plan and the undertone for this plan is we're going to actively try to reverse stagnation. This is not a one-shoe-fits-all approach. Those sub-districts, in the way it's written, allows us to look at these properties and write their own redevelopment plans, because every one of these sites in these 27 approximate acres is distinctly different. By the High Line, we have historical row houses back there. Retail, I don't believe, is a good fit as it's hidden behind the wall. There's certain areas we need to look at, and certain areas that we want to encourage retail and mixed use and other approaches that would otherwise draw community in a sense of place here. So this plan pulls a different approach than our prior redevelopment plans. It sets the foundation for a vision, and it sets the foundation for us to look at each of these properties distinctly and uniquely different than looking at it as a one whole collective site. But it does pay respect to the historical and character and the identity and the importance of breaking up this concrete and then adding greenery, passive and active recreation opportunities as well. So with that, I'll stop sharing my screen, Mayor and Council, but this is essentially the plan before the board.
Alex, that's exactly why you're the New Jersey you won the New Jersey Emerging Planner Award for projects just like this that you bring to Dover. I also, for this board's information, I know we had an increase as debated by one of the members of the public earlier on some of our different departments, and it was called out specifically engineering and planning, and that's exactly why. We have a lot of redevelopment coming to this community. It's a great opportunity for us to clean up a lot of these blighted sites, and for the average homeowner, you can be rest assured that your property values will increase with all the potential this town certainly has. So, Alex, I think that's a great presentation. I think that you clearly explained support the vision and what we're trying to accomplish. So thank you for doing that. Do we have any? Did you insert Rebecca? Okay, thank you. Did you any questions or comments from this board on ordinance 26?
Yes. Thank you, Alex, for the presentation. It's a really great project and a vision for what we have in the Bassett Development Projects. My question is on the walk-in plaza. I've actually already presented the project to the business owners on that Bassett Highway area, from like Don Cleaners to where the old Sovereign Bank is.
Mm-hmm.
So their basic question is what does that entail? What does a walk-in plaza there entail? Can they bring out tables and serve, and what can they do?
I mean, I think it's certainly open.
Alex, I'll address that because I think that's something this council has to decide. Alex can write a plan on it, but the council has to decide to what level we want to take that.
Right, and that's exactly what I was going to say, Mayor. I think to the extent of how that plaza opens and works and functions, it could be written as an ordinance and discussed at a subsequent mayor and council meeting. This is a vision plan, and if the vision is indeed looked upon favorably and it goes to distance, we can start to write in these redevelopment areas for these unique, distinctive opportunities that lie within this 27-acre site.
Okay, thank you so much. It's an amazing vision. Thank you, Alex. And like the mayor said, that's why you are the emerging planner of the state. Thank you.
Questions or comments from this board? Ordinance 26, 2020. Motion for the second. Roll call, please.
So moved. I have it. Oh, sorry. No, it's not.
Nice that we have a second. Yeah.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Santana,
Yes.
Councilmember Scarnio,
Yes.
Councilmember Tapia,
Yes.
Councilmember Toro, yes, Councilmember Velez, yes, Councilmember Whitner, yes, Mayor Donna.
Yes. Alex, thank you. Dean, thank you as always. You guys are a great team together, and we look forward to these projects coming to fruition. Thank you. All right, we're back on our agenda now. Wrap up these last few ordinances. We have ordinance 23, 2025, and ordinance to the mayor, town council, town of Dover, County of Morris, state of New Jersey, providing a handicap parking space at 291 West Clinton Street. So moved. Second. Roll call, please.
Mayor, I'm sorry, I have a question. I think there's a typo on this ordinance. The title on here says 291, and I think the ordinance itself says 219. But it's 291. Yes, the title on the ordinance is 219, and the bottom is 200. Okay. It's 291? Yeah, okay, so it says it in the bottom. Thank you.
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Yes. Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Santana,
Yes.
Councilmember Scarnio,
Yes.
Councilmember Tapia,
Yes.
Councilmember Toro, yes, Councilmember Velez, yes, Councilmember Whitner, yes, Mayor Donna.
Yes. Ordinance 24, 2025, an ordinance of the mayor, town council, town of Dover, County of Morris, state of New Jersey, amending and supplementing chapter 72, salaries and compensation. So moved.
Second.
Second. No second.
Yes.
Roll call.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Santana,
Yes.
Councilmember Scarnio,
Yes.
Councilmember Tapia, Councilmember Toro, yes, Councilmember Velez, yes, Councilmember Whitner, yes, Mayor Donna.
Yes. We have an ordinance for second reading of public hearing. Ordinance 12, 2025, an ordinance of the mayor, town council, town of Dover, County of Morris, state of New Jersey, amending supplementing chapter 328, smoking. This is a second reading and public hearing. Can I have a motion, please? Second. We have a motion and a second. Questions or comments from this board? This is public hearing. At this time, I'll open this ordinance. Ordinance 12 to the public. Anyone in the public wish to be heard on ordinance 12, 2025? Please raise your hand and we'll allow you into the meeting. Seeing no hands, we'll close this portion to the public. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Santana,
Yes.
Councilmember Scarnio,
Yes.
Councilmember Tapia, Councilmember Toro,
Yes.
Councilmember Velez,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitner,
Yes.
Mayor Dodd.
Yes. Okay, we have a resolution approving our bills list, resolution 203, 2025.
Second.
Motion is second, roll call please.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Santana,
Yes.
Councilmember Scarnio,
Yes.
Councilmember Tapia,
Yes.
Councilmember Toro,
Yes.
Councilmember Velez,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitner,
Yes.
Mayor Dodd.
Yes. So with consent of our legal counsel, we have 2 full pages of resolutions refunding escrow balances to people who have taken out a permit or done a project on their property. So what I'm gonna ask for, because I don't wanna sit here and read 2 pages of every resolution, we have resolution 204 to 2025 from letter A all the way down to letter double L. What I'm gonna ask for is one vote on probably 40 or 50 resolutions, and what this is for public information, this is a refund for permits or projects that require a escrow account to be opened, and then when the project is completed, the escrow will be returned to that applicant. The problem is, we had a board secretary who did not refund any of the money for many years, going way back. And now, we have a new board secretary who identified all of these escrows that need to be returned to the applicant. So, Ramon, with your approval, I'd like to, have all of the resolutions from 204 all the way up to 241. Is that okay?
Yes.
Without reading them all. Correct.
204, 205, and 206 are not part of those.
So we'll take 2, right, we'll do those separate, and then it'll be from 207, I guess, all the way down to
You can do them all together.
It's still consent.
Yeah, well, do the entire group of consent.
The whole thing.
This whole thing, that's why it's called a consent. So, what I'm asking for a vote on is under the consent agenda from letter A all the way down to letter R. Yes. So,
Second.
roll call please.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Santana,
Yes.
Councilmember Scarnio,
Yes.
Councilmember Tapia,
Yeah.
Councilmember Toro, Councilmember Velez,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitner,
Yes.
Mayor Dodd.
Yes, we have something on resolutions on the public portion. We have resolution 248, 2025, approving the renewal of alcoholic beverage licenses for the years 2025-26.
Mayor, I have a question on this. Are there any, conditions still, attached to this, establishment? We years ago, we started up. We had, some conditions on there.
That's library.
Yes.
So I think the list is on this. Is that still there? Eric, do we know that?
I wasn't aware of any special
Oh,
conditions.
yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was, it was 5 years.
Let's take, can we table this on that? We'll find out.
Why do we have to have the approval in by turn?
So this individual didn't renew their license because they didn't have tax clearance. So they received 2 ag interim permits to carry them through. So if we don't renew tonight, he's gonna have to apply for another ag interim permit or shut down, either or.
So, Ramon, can we approve it tonight? Can we approve the application tonight pending stipulations on this council at the next meeting?
We renewed this last year, and I wasn't aware of special conditions either. I know that he had to shut down recently. There's a few establishments that,
Do you recall what
do
that was?
you know they were?
That was 21.
Yeah.
That was a while back.
So there was something with surveillance cameras,
Yes.
with security, additional security,
Noise.
and noise,
But that's
and
back
then,
in 21.
I don't think it was quite that far.
I know the conditions been abated, and then
That's what we don't know, because that came from the police department.
I'm sorry, what?
That came from the police department, right? Those conditions, if I recall correctly?
Yeah, I think they did. I'd be more comfortable if we tabled it and
interested in
Well, we
those.
can't, because then he loses his license.
I know, but to approve it with condition unknown, I don't know how you do that.
But it was approved last year with the conditions?
Correct. But
It's anything that resolution about satisfying the, the standard resolution.
listen, I hear you loud and clear. But I also don't want to see a guy lose his license.
No, neither do I. I just know we have that.
It's
We have that noise issue. We could somehow throw that in there. The vestibule thing as a
So,
we've been waiting.
well, we can do that right now. We can have the attorney add it to the resolution.
So when you
So-
put the resolution for renewal into the PASI system, it asks if there's any special conditions, and I can make comments on behalf of the town. But
So Ramon, here's my question. We brought this owner of this establishment in and had a discussion with him, our construction code official. He's been in my office a couple of times. The problem is late at night when they open up the door, they don't have a vestibule. So as soon as they open up the door, the loud music travels out to the neighborhood. Can we put a condition in here that requires him to construct that vestibule within a specific amount of time under a condition to approve his license tonight?
Yes, we have to read the whole book.
So my suggestion is that we are maybe okay with 6 months. Within
Yeah, I think that, it's
within 6 months.
It's enough time.
Yes, I think up to minutes discussion.
Yeah, no, I think it's reasonable.
I don't know how you want to word it from a legal perspective, but it's the resolution condition on
Yeah, so-
construction of the vestibule to reduce noise to the neighborhood in that area.
It doesn't hurt it.
It
helps.
So I guess my question is we could put the special conditions in the system to the state, but the state's not gonna care about that. They're gonna renew the license. So,
We can. I don't think
right,
the
but
state
the
does. We don't.
state's gonna rescind his license 6 months from now if his vestibule's not built.
It's not maybe.
Because it's not specific to the like it's not related to the license itself.
But we can.
We can't, we
We
don't.
can. He has to appeal to the state. If we rescind it, Ramon, I think you need to jump in on this. If we put a condition on that locally, we can rescind it. He can go down to ABC and have it overturned.
I have to look at
Yeah,
it.
that's my experience.
Well, then, I say we go ahead with it.
I say it's a tool. If it doesn't work, listen, put it in
It's
there.
looking back at last year, would have been around this time last year, right?
No, the last meeting in June.
June 11.
If it doesn't work, we just bring it back in, tell them 6 months.
Okay.
Right, yeah, there's other ways to handle that. It's not through ABC. No, it was a good catch.
I'll see it on June.
The second meeting, June.
Would,
When they get the 11.
listen, I can honestly say if we call this owner in, maybe I think you might agree with this. If we just call him in and say, listen, you're gonna have 6 months to put that vestibule up.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah, that's all.
You know,
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
say we approved it.
We approve it and then we could hold it and discuss it.
Let's move on because otherwise we're just getting back. Okay, so we have, are you okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Resolution 248, 2025, approving the renewal of APC license for 25.
So,
Roll call.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Abstain? Abstain?
okay.
Got it?
Councilmember Santana,
yes.
Councilmember Scarnio,
Yes.
Councilmember Tapia,
Yes.
Councilmember Toro,
Abstain.
Councilmember Velez, yes. Councilmember Whitner,
Abstain.
Mayor Dodd.
Yes. Nice. Resolution 249, 2025, approving tax to settlement for block 703, lot 8.
So,
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Santana,
yes.
Councilmember Scarnio,
Yes.
Councilmember Tapia,
Yes.
Councilmember Toro,
Yes.
Councilmember Velez, Councilmember Whitner,
Yes.
Mayor Dodd.
Yes. Resolution 250-2025, authorizing the renewal of membership in Morris County Federal Municipal Fund Insurance.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Santana,
Yes.
Councilmember Scarnio,
Yes.
Councilmember Tapia,
Yes.
Councilmember Toro,
Yes.
Councilmember Velez,
Yes.
Councilmember Whitner,
Yes.
Mayor Dodd.
Yes. Resolution 251, authorizing settlement of tax appeal of John O'Brien and Raymond Lopez Sr. and Nancy V. Dover, town docket number 1011187. Section 2015 for block 4023 lot 8 of the 38 Glenwood Ave for tax year 2015.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Santana,
Yes.
Councilmember Scarnio,
Yes.
Councilmember Tapia,
Yes.
Councilmember Toro,
Yes.
Councilmember Velez, Councilmember Whitner,
Yes.
Mayor Dodd.
Yes. Resolution 252, 2025, declaring a certain area known as block 12818, blocks 13, 20, 21, 23, and block 1325, lots 8 and 9 in the town of Dover, a non-condemnation area due to redevelopments, lots F and lots H.
So moved. Second.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Santana,
Yes.
Councilmember Scarnio,
Yes.
Councilmember Tapia,
Absolutely. Yes.
Councilmember Toro,
Yes.
Councilmember Velez, Councilmember Whitner,
Yes.
Mayor Dodd.
Resolution 253, authorizing adoption of 360 Advantage program, including voluntary benefits offered through Allstate Debt and Delta for the employees of the town of Dover.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Rodriguez,
Yes.
Councilmember Santana,
Yes.
Councilmember Scarnio,
Yes.
Councilmember Tapia,
Yes.
Councilmember Toro,
Yes.
Councilmember Velez, Councilmember Whitner,
Yes.
Mayor Dodd.
Yes. Rough based on bond, we have some business and new business on this board, so we went to public portion. Hearing none, we'll go to public portion. This time I'll open a meeting to the public. Anyone in the public wish to be heard on any of them, please raise your hand and we will allow you to speak. Robin Klein?
Mayor, do we do new business? Mayor, do we do business? Or is that after?
So go add old business and new business. Do you have something?
Yes, sir. Yes, please, if I could have just 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Mayor, so I just wanted to bring 2 things up that are just concerning. So I wanted to bring up, one of them is the comments on our social medias. I would like to have a vote to see if we can put that back on, but with a code of conduct. I took a class with Rutgers for municipal government, and a lot of the towns that were in that meeting, a lot of them said that how they deal with a lot of harassing, vulgar, and inappropriate comments from people in the public is what they do is that they put a social media code of conduct, and I want to put that up to the vote. See if we can come up with a code of conduct, because I believe that we should have comments, but I believe that we should have, I think we should have both positive and negative comments, but when they pass the line of vulgar or harassment or curse words or things like that, that should be banned. And so I wanted to make a motion to see if we can get this going. Am I being clear or no?
Yeah, I heard everything you said, and in this climate, I don't support that at all. I mean, if this board decides they want to do it, that's perfectly fine. We call a vote, we make a motion, we take a vote. I think that until things calm down here a little bit, we get this place back in order, we get this house in order, we bring our meetings back to in-person meetings. When we have the police protection that we should have, then it's a different story. Right now, the climate that we're in, I understand what he's saying. I heard him perfectly clear.
So I'm
if
just-
the council decides that they want to support it, that's fine.
Mayor,
The climate we're in, and it's unfortunate, but that's where we are.
Mayor, the only reason is that because there's a lot of positive comments that can come from our from our residents. A lot of positive.
Listen, I just got done telling you, if you want to call a vote, make a motion.
I am making a motion. If anybody would like to second that, let me know.
I'll second that motion.
That means a public portion. That means our Facebook, social media will now have public comments.
With a social media code of conduct, though. With immediate code of conduct.
Sergio, I heard you 12 times say with code of conduct. What I'm saying to you is that now somebody has to monitor that Facebook page. That's not an easy task. That puts somebody that has to control that 24/7. That becomes a cumbersome, difficult task. And now we're putting more on our public employees. If that's what you want to do, move forward.
Mayor, no, so what I'm asking for is to come up with a social media code of conduct. That's what I'm asking for. This vote is to come up with a social media code of conduct, and then we can enact that and put that in place. But I'm not asking to open up comments. I'm asking for a social media code of conduct. It can be.
We're going to let Ramon jump in on that, Sergio, and let him.
Okay. Yep.
So it seemed like the proposed resolution changed a little bit that was seconded. I thought it was to reactivate comments on our Facebook page where we stream the meeting, which are disabled now. And under the law, we are able to do that. And I provided guidance on that previously to this body that we can just stream the meeting, but we don't have to allow comments. My concern with doing this is what this code of conduct might look like, who's responsible, and potentially a subjective nature to it, which could lead to more questions and concerns by members of the public as to why comments are being suppressed and why some are not, and who's monitoring it, and potentially claims against that of well, you're allowed someone to do something, but you're not allowing someone else. So once you turn on the comments, unless it violates Facebook's, criteria, it just becomes a concern. I don't know what the social media policy looks like you're talking about and criteria, so it's hard to apply on it any further than.
So, thank you, Ramon. So then I will update my ask. My motion is to come up with a social media code of conduct in which the mayor and council would agree on, and then we can enact that. And the way that other municipalities do is that they post this social media code of conduct, and once you break it, you are now blocked. And you cannot comment anymore based on the social media code of conduct that the mayor and council approves.
Yeah, Sergio, I don't think that, in all fairness, and again, I'll refer to legal, but I don't think we need a resolution or a vote to research a code of conduct. I think that's something that's why we have legal counsel. I could give a directive tonight to have Ramon research the code of conduct process and what it takes, to implement it, what it takes to monitor it, and then the potential liability that we have by blocking that information, as the attorney stated.
That's fine.
Do you agree with that?
Sure, that's the councilman agrees to send
Let it-
but yeah, I'll look at it.
Can you send whenever you have, Sergio,
Yes.
to Ramon for his review?
Yes, thank you. Yes, that would be great. Our legal can review it. And just one more new business. I wanted to see if our legal can also review the Dignity Act. It's a bipartisan legislation that's going on in Congress right now, and I wanted to see if we can get that directive to our legal to review it, come up with a report to give us a general consensus on what the Dignity Act is, and then I wanted to see if we can put that up for a vote to see if we would back it up as a mayor and council.
And you're saying dignity, correct?
Yes, sir. Dignity Act.
The immigration.
All right, we'll take a look at it.
Thank you.
I'll have a vote next week.
That's
We'll
all.
have a vote for the next meeting.
Thank you.
Very good. We have a motion in a second. We need to leave that, just walk away.
Of course, needs to be withdrawn, he's gonna withdraw it.
Well, we're talking about it.
Withdraw the second, okay, then.
Thank you. Any other new business, old business? Okay, at this time we'll open this portion to the public. Anyone in the public to be heard, please raise your hand. I know we have Robin Klein raising a hand. Yes, please do so.
All right, good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm going to make my comments short, but hopefully concise. I want to bring to your attention right now the lack of enforcement on signage that's being posted throughout our town, on utility poles, at the curbs, on fences. In reviewing our town codes, there are 4 chapters in our town code that expressly talk about these type of prohibited signs. Chapter 202, garage sales. A license is required and signs must be removed within 24 hours. If not, there's a $5 a day fine that's going to be imposed. Chapter 207 talks about handbills. It prohibits the improper posting of printed, handwritten, or any type of advertising signs. Again, a license is required for commercial purposes with a $10 fine to be imposed for each sign that was improperly posted without a license. Chapter 242 talks about littering, and that's persons occupying property. They're responsible to keep their sidewalk and curb in front of their respective premises free from litter. This chapter, interestingly, may be enforced by any municipal employee, including the code official, municipal engineer, or his designee, or the police department. And fines are to be imposed, including costs for the town to provide for cleanup and disposal. And lastly, the 4th chapter is chapter 319, specifically Article 2, which talks about signs. And it expressly says, signs are prohibited on any pole, curbside, flagging, tree, or fence. So what I'm asking for is some proactive and assertive enforcement. You know, every year our workforce salary and wages increase, yet it really appears that the workforce productivity is decreasing. And I don't think it's because of attrition. I think it's a matter of expectation of our workforce and accountability. Many of us have noticed that the town's, I'll call it organizational culture, has waned since the COVID pandemic back in 2020. I just want to remind you that the people who call Dover home deserve much better from its government. So I appeal to Mayor Dodd, each of our 8 elected council members, our town administrator, and our municipal clerk. You are entrusted with...
Thank you, Rob.
We have Elizabeth Tapia.
Elizabeth Tapia.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can.
Hi, good afternoon. Elizabeth Tapia, 129 King Street. First, I believe that the plan that Alex Dougherty brought forward feels a bit more tailored to a community like Morristown rather than Dover. Nothing has been mentioned about the nonprofits and organizations that make up Bassett Highway, such as the Morris County Organization for Hispanic Affairs, which Mayor Dodd thanked. Currently, there is only a set amount of parking spots for these organizations in the lot where the Riverwalk is being proposed. So I wanted to know what steps would be taken to ensure that employees of these nonprofits could essentially maintain their parking spaces. And if this would also be subject to the Flowbird parking meters. That was my first question. And then my second point was that I recently learned that the Civil Service Commission oversees our town's employment, but not all of our employees are subject to these guidelines. I bring this up because I recently saw a job listing a little while ago that did not list qualifications or salary. And then a little later, a different job listing that was posted that did include qualifications and salary. We now have a parking utility department with a new parking utility supervisor. But to my knowledge, the parking utility department was supervised by the police chief. So we did not have to pay for a separate person and an additional salary to supervise that. So while residents are calling and they're being transferred to Fernando Barrios, I believe the salary is set to be $120,000. Not sure, but based on my conversations with residents in our community, this budget seems like it should include additional police officers. It's unsafe for our community to work off of 3 and 4 officers on duty only. And so I feel like, shouldn't we be spending our money wisely on these crucial services instead of 6-figure salaries for supervisors that we don't need and didn't need in the past? And that's it. Thank you.
Anyone else?
We have TC McCoy.
TC McCoy.
Thank you. First, I actually want to echo Council Member Rodriguez's calls for a social media code of ethics. I think it's definitely something that the town could afford to adopt, especially if it applied to council members, as several council members have engaged in questionable social media activity, personally attacking residents, members of the community, calling them names, misgendering them in videos. So I definitely think that's something that the town should look into. Earlier, I was accused of manipulating numbers, and this is not a surprise. Last year, when I did the same thing, brought up the percentage increases to various departments, I was accused of lying. We may not like the numbers, but they don't lie. And what they show is a priority. It has been the priority of this administration to hire new people, add new staff, to quote something the mayor said to me several years ago, spend money to make money. We've chosen to do that. We've chosen to create new positions for political allies instead of doing things and spending money on things that we actually need, like additional police officers or updating the video equipment that is servicing this meeting that was in last year's capital budget but has yet to be implemented. Secondly, I'm quite disappointed to see that virtual-only meetings will be in place until the end of October, meaning that that residents will not have the opportunity to sit in town hall and speak directly to their elected officials before the next election. I seem to remember the mayor mentioning that this would end in the fall. Well, the fall begins next month, so perhaps that will change now that the mayor is aware of when the season ends, because I have always found him to be a man of his word. Lastly, I would love for the town attorney to please clarify what Dr. Ramirez's official title is in relation to his position in the finance department, and if using a title that is not his official title, as I have seen him do on numerous occasions in email responses on official documents, is something that may put the town in jeopardy as far as the validity of those documents. I remember very specifically him being appointed temporary CFO, not CFO, due to his lack of qualifications to be a CFO. Yet, in almost every...
We have Lefty Grimes.
Lefty Grimes.
Okay, this is Edward Lefty Grimes. I'm here with the bi-monthly update of Mayor Dodd's shenanigans. Lest we forget the racism he showed Mayor Blackman by calling her the C word. Lest we forget the racism of Dodd when he called the Honorable Mayor Blackman a P. Lest we forget the racism when Mayor Dodd called the Honorable Mayor Blackman the N-word. Lest we forget when Mayor Dodd banned burqas, saying that all Muslims have guns and bombs under their burqas. We all heard it. We all heard your lackeys talk about throwing that burqa wearer in the river. An ex-policeman said we should throw that burqa wearer in the Rockaway River. Such racism and anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. Lest we forget the ableism. When Mayor Dodd locked out people from the January 1st festivities in the basement where there was no wheelchair access. And then the wheelchairs that got in the basement were fire hazards. Yay! Lest we forget the election when Mayor Dodd yelled at the 3 people who lost. And they reached out to me. One of them actually reached out to me. And they're going to give me the dirt on Dodd. I can't wait for that phone call. So what we're going to do is we are all sick of seeing the head of Dodd all over the town. There's a huge 10-foot Dodd head everywhere. Like, we have to see it everywhere. I almost drove off the road the other day looking at this thing. So we all decided to donate hair for a wig for Mr. Dodd. And it's going to be hair from our backside, so he has afternoon ass all day. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to be here?
We have one person with no name, only as Zoom user.
We have a Zoom user?
Yeah, Zoom user, no name.
Must be like the anonymous on social media.
Hi, this is Maria. Can you hear
We
me?
can hear you.
Could you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, this is Maria Chacon. I just wanted to speak about what Sergio Rodriguez brought up, which is about ethics on social media. I am a member of the community. I am a parent. I am an advocate. And I've said it in other occasions that I actually voted for you, Mayor Dodd. But I'm very disappointed on what's going on the bullying that I see, and including that you have been bullying me through the Dover Matters page, providing links to of articles of pages that you created back in 2018 to insult and harass Dominic Timpani, to add me to a video slide, including Daniela Mendez, T.C. McCourt, Carol Ruiz, Sandra Widner, a member of your council, to insult and drag their names down because they just oppose what you do, and including me. And the other thing is that Mr. Ramirez created a page. He is a bishop of a church. I don't know if it's in Hackettstown, in Patterson, but he is a bishop. And there is a screenshot of him liking insults against T.C. McCourt. So when we talk about ethics and behavior, how does it apply to our mayor and council? And this is a legal question. Is there any consequences to that? That's why the public is scared to speak up. That's why employees use anonymous online. So can you please help me understand that? There shouldn't be anything of that happening against the community. Thank you.
Anyone else? I think once this comes to the public, I'll address some of the comments here. The comments by Robin Klein are well taken. Robin, thank you. I know this is your home. You've been here a long time. And I will certainly, I'm going to ask you to contact code enforcement tomorrow at DPW to take a tour of town and to remove any of those signs that are posted on public property, whether it's a telephone pole. We do have an ordinance that you cannot post a sign on public property. So I think that we'll first start with removing all the signs that are currently there. And then we're going to give a directive to code enforcement to enforce our ordinances and fine the individuals that continue to do it. I agree with Robin. I think it's an eyesore for our community. We've had a handle on it for quite a few years, and it's getting out of control. And let's certainly address it immediately. The second individual, Elizabeth Tapia, I do want to address the issue of nonprofit parking. When we created the new parking system in Dover, that was taken into consideration. We made nonprofit parking discounted rates for our municipal lots. It's amazing here in the town of Dover that people, don't want to walk to get their vehicle. We have an ability now for town employees, for business owner employees, relates to parking our municipal parking lots. The downtown area right now is going to be lined with kiosks, and the purpose of that is to increase commerce, to increase business for our local businesses. It's not so town for business employees to park their vehicle on Blackwood Street or in the surrounding town and occupy that space all day long, so the members can't come or shoppers can't come to a specific location and utilize that business. When you have turnover in parking, you increase business for local establishments, you increase commerce, and you increase traffic, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. So I know that the nonprofits was taken into consideration when Alex wrote the parking plan. I will get more specific details tomorrow from him to address this. We do have nonprofit groups in our town, and we take them very seriously into consideration. We have compassion for that, and so we will address it moving forward. Your comment is well taken. As far as the parking utility goes, I want to explain how this works in the town of Dover. It's not the chief of police; it's under the administration. There's a misconception there. When I was here previously, the administration had a parking utility in the administration. When I left, it was taken into the police department. I brought it back into the administration when I came back as mayor because I think it's the administration's job to implement that. It's not only about illegal parking on streets. It's not only about our municipal lots. It's about enforcement, and we are not going to pay a police officer $200,000+ a year to write tickets for parking when we can have a much less expensive parking enforcement officer do the same thing. So we have what's called a parking utility. At some point, our parking system is going to grow larger, and it's going to have to then become a parking authority. Once it becomes a parking authority, it has its own separate autonomous board, does its own funding, has bond capacity, where it can go out and build a parking deck if need be. There's many benefits to a parking authority. So we have a parking system now. It's called a parking utility that definitely needs a supervisor. We are bringing over 25 kiosks to downtown Dover. That system was approved. That system went out to bid. After the budget gets adopted, the parking system will be installed. It has to be managed by a staff. We installed parking safety sticks that has to be managed by a staff. No offense to the police department. Once again, I'm not going to pay somebody $200,000 to review those videos when I can pay someone a much lesser salary. So that is why we now are ramping up our parking system. When I left in 2019, we were generating over $1 million a year in revenue. We are a train station. We are a commuter town, and we have the opportunity here for parking. We have over 700 parking spaces in the town of Dover, and we must enforce them. That is a revenue generating stream. When I came back in 2024, when I left in 19, we had 3 full-time parking enforcement officers. When I came back, we had 0. So you basically cut off the entire revenue stream. We're going to get that revenue stream back, and we're slated to increase it to over $2 million a year in the parking utility that we currently have implemented. Teaching the court's comments about not liking numbers. It's not about liking numbers or manipulating percentages. It's about accountability and telling the truth. The truth is, yes, we had some increases in some of the departments, and I explained it earlier. I'm not going to be a broken record and repeat myself. We had increases in specific departments for a reason, and I explained them earlier again. I'm not going to go back and repeat it. I never said we were going back to in-person meetings in the fall. I said I hope that sometime, hopefully in the fall, that we could go back when we have the protection from the police department that this council deserves and members of the public deserve. Just to refresh the memory of those here in the public, when Mr. Lefty Grimes decided to come here, and he's pretty comical. Actually, I think that he's an embarrassment to society, quite honestly. He comes here, he dresses up in a wheelchair, he gets in a wheelchair, we have him on video. He gets out of his vehicle, lifts the wheelchair out of his vehicle, gets into the wheelchair, puts a burden on him, decides to come into this council meeting and act in the capacity of a woman. Spoke like a woman, we knew who he was, we told him to remove the burqa. It's not that I removed somebody with burqa, I removed an individual that was making a mockery of a burqa and making a mockery, quite honestly, of this town. And I'm of the opinion if you entertain the clowns, you will have a circus. I will not do that. We come to these meetings to conduct municipal business, and I will continue to take that approach as long as I go in this town. And, you know, the difficulty here is we have individuals that like to make money by clicks on social media. So it's pretty funny where you see Lefty Grimes recently in a wheelchair blocking a crosswalk on the street, where it took 3 or 4 police officers to talk him off of the street. This is what this individual does. He goes from town to town to town to provoke councils to exactly what he did here. Don't fall for it, people. This guy is a clown, and he's an embarrassment to society. We have different individuals here, and it's funny, you know, it's amazing to me that we are building a team here of extremely professional staff, yet we're still criticized. You know, the individuals that want to come and comment on these meetings are hypocrites. And if you want to sit here and you want to post on Anonymous, I think that's unfortunate. If you want to speak, come and speak. But don't sit here and hide behind a camera, keyboard warriors, sit here and call yourself anonymous, and then decide to throw stones. It's unfortunate. We are here to move this town forward, and as long as I'm mayor, I will continue to do that. We are doing the best we can with what we have. We came back to a disaster that we're absolutely getting cleaned up. And, you know, sometimes people need to decide whether or not, when you say we need more employees and more employees and more employees, sometimes you need to look at management. Maybe management is the problem, and it's not the amount of employees we're trying to have. That's my response to the comments here tonight. Is there anything else from the board? Hearing other comments, I will make a motion for adjournment. All in favor?